I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Caroga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Esri Dax on DS9. Welcome you to Birdo Prey 5 channel. Hail Caroga.
Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5 Cupla. And Gone! And welcome to Bed Life for Friday, February 16th, 2024, National Caregivers Day. National Caregivers Day. A very apt day for today. And thank you, John Araki, for the 99-cent super sticker to start off the stream. I was actually a few minutes early. And then double thank you, John Araki, for a gifted 5 memberships. And the first person to get these gifted memberships by John Araki is John Araki himself. How very Carogan of you, John Araki, giving away 5 memberships, but making sure you were the first one to get one. And number 2 is Sci-Fi Nation, another great winner for today, as it's also Sci-Fi Nation's birthday today. So happy birthday, Sci-Fi Nation. I would sing happy birthday, but I already sang him happy birthday on a stream he did earlier today on his own channel. So congrats, Sci-Fi Nation. Cody Guy also getting one of the John Araki memberships. Roosters and Dr. Scotty rounding out the full 5. Congrats again, guys. And thank you, John Araki, for that 5-pack of gifted memberships. Of course, congrats to yourself for winning the first one. Richie Poole first in the chat today with an alpaca. And Richie Poole says, my alpaca went back in time. So now there are 2 of him. And now we got 2 alpacas. And Richie Poole was one of the people who was at Sci-Fi Nation's early stream this morning, where I sang him happy birthday. And we ended up talking about time travel with Captain Finity. Captain Fandom Nerd says, hello, hello, Captain. Richie Poole says, greetings. It's National Mamo Pray Day. It is, Richie. It is. Mamo Pray was about to interrupt and say that, but Richie Poole already said it first and put in a whole bunch of Mamo Pray emojis.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you, Richie. But I have something to ask Richie.
Oh, you have something to ask, Richie?
Yes.
Huh?
I noticed this morning that you were on
Sci-Fi Nation.
Sci-Fi Nation's channel, and it was quite early here. Do you ever sleep? It had to be earlier where you are.
That's right.
Yeah,
Arizona
right.
would have been 2 or 3 hours earlier. What you doing up so early, Richie? It was 8 a.m. here. So 5 to 6 a.m. in Arizona.
And it's not the first time I've noticed that.
Hmm.
Hi, Richie. Hello, everyone. Since it's National Mamo Pray Day, I'm going to go rest now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Bob.
Have a good stream.
Thank you, Mama Pray. Yvette says, good evening, Bird and everyone. Good evening to the lovely Yvette. Captain Fandom Nerd says, National Mamo Pray Day is a reason to celebrate. John Meyer says, huzzah for Mamo Pray. Huzzah, I say. John Aragi says, breaking news. Birdo Pray 5 was found guilty of inflating his subscriber count and fined 1,000 subscribers. He is also barred from operating a YouTube channel in New York for 3 years. He is expected to appeal. As damn well he should appeal. John Araki says, Mamo Pray 2024. I mean, what the hell is barred from doing business in New York for 3 years? What is this, the Ferengi Commerce Authority? How do you prevent somebody from doing business in a state for 3 years? What? You can't do business. What does that mean? You can't live here? How do you live in a state if you can't do business? I mean, don't get me wrong. The guy doesn't want to live here. He's already in another state. But please, what if he was living here? What if it was his only home? How do you stop somebody from being able to do business in the state they live in? It's cruel and unusual punishment. Like, well, I can't buy water. Well, I can't buy. If you need water to live, you need water to live. John Araki says, Mamo Pray 2024. Schwario says, hello, you all. And Kapla Bird of Prey, hope you and the other Oprays are doing well today. Huzzah. Thank you, Schwario. Richie Poole says, Bird of Prey 5, your weapons will be useless against us. Mike Richards is greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. John DeMarcos is greetings to everyone. Greetings, John. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, Kapla, I'll be in ultra secret double lurk mode today. JP says, Durr, you're too busy making shorts, Gorilla. Gorilla does make a whole lot of shorts. A whole lot of YouTube shorts these days. Captain Phantom Nerd says, Gorilla, thoughts say, lurk away. I told people I'd be going live soon. I was already technically a minute late. Richie Poole says, late Pray 5. LDG says, hashtag birds late. Yeah, sorry about that. I had a call with a call that went late. Richie Poole says, what is a bird slate? A bird fake slate of electors. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello, 47. Professor Brainy Specs says, hashtag birds always late. John Araki says, hashtag tardy, hashtag crow nurse, hashtag steal birds garbage, hashtag no one puts Alexa in the other. God damn it. No, I didn't ask you a question, Alexa. Oh my God. Hashtag no one puts Alexa in the other room. Words and pictures is Kapla Vertebrae 5. Good to hear you. Good to be here. Good to have you here. Words and pictures. Professor Brainy Spack says hashtag Life with Matthew for Karogan Emperor. No! Life with Matthew will never ascend the Karogan throne. Hakeem says, hail, bird and Karoga. Kapla, Hakeem. Darren Wagner says, hello, bird. Hello, Darren. John DeMarco says, so are you suggesting that Karogans tend to engage in rigging, bird? What? I said no such thing. Richie Poole says, I get up at 4 a.m. Wow, that is quite early, Richie. Quite early.
Oh,
Unfortunately, I don't think that's very compatible with Ciso Prey. Oh, yeah, Richie, would you mind if we give a family member your number? He likes to get up in the middle of the night and just talk to people. So maybe he can talk to you since you'll be up already. Professor Brainy Specs says hashtag bird always rigs. No. JP says, haha, Mama Pray giving Richie Poole shit. Professor Brady Specs says hello to Mike Richards. Melted Copper says Good Friday evening, ladies and gentlemen. Kapla Melted Copper. It is Good Friday. No, it's not. It's not Good Friday. It's Ash Wednesday. God, what? I guess that's not the right thing to say. You know what? Okay. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm confused. Melody, Good Friday evening, ladies and gentlemen. Melody Cobb, I hope you're doing well. Richie Poole says, does Gorilla ever soil his shorts? I hope not. Richie Poole lolls at Alexa. Positive Candor says, great googly moogly. Applaud, Positive Candor. Mike Richards says, Professor Brainy Specs, greetings and salutations. And Richie Poole says, you can give my number to Sis O'Prey. That's not the family member she's talking about. JP says, it's Freebase Friday. Melted Cobb says, it's not the Good Friday, but a Good Friday. That's
Who's been holding up the damn elevator?
Mamo Pray Day just donated $25. You are a wondrous Mamo Pray. That is so nice. And got eyebrow dax. They're not saying who did it. It's a donation. Whoever that was, Mamo Pray Day. Thank you so much. You are a wondrous Mamo Pray. Well, okay, so to be fair, what we've been doing in this house the last few days and probably going to continue for the next few days is I've been working with a lawyer we've got to set up a new trust, which is already set up. But also, we have to work with a whole bunch, get a whole bunch of paperwork set up in order to hopefully get me set up for Medicaid, a Medicaid plan that would allow some sort of allow us to get somebody to help here, somebody here to help Mama Pray and me. Basically have someone that can come and do what Mama Pray does for me. Just a few hours, if we can get them for just a few hours a day, it would tremendously help Mama Pray and myself. First, it would take a whole lot of worries off my plate because I'm scared. I'll be honest. I wake up scared. I go to bed scared. It is eating at me. God forbid something happened to Mama Pray. And to be honest, if Mama Pray died, while that would be sad, that wouldn't be the saddest option. What worries me is, God forbid, something happens to Mama Pray and she doesn't die. And I have to worry for her and me and my sister and everything else that comes with it. And, it's scary. It's scary. So this would be as a backup for Mama Pray. It would also hmm? Yeah, and it would also pay Mama Pray to let her keep doing what she's doing. So that would be of tremendous help, in two ways. We would actually have a backup person for Mama Pray, and Mama Pray could make some money just doing what she already does. So, the fact that it's Caregiver Friday kind of goes along with what we're trying to get done here. So I
You should explain.
I should explain what.
Yeah.
It's a self-directed trust. It's a self-directed program where I would have to explain to the people coming, what I need to have done for myself, what they have to do for me. It's I'm not 100% sure how to explain it. Yes, Mama Fred. Without going into too much detail. Yeah.
Medicaid, not only in New York, but throughout the United States, is normally a program, a healthcare program for low income people. But if you're disabled, like Joe is, you can have higher income and you need to put anything over a certain amount that you get each month into a trust. And that trust, he technically does not have access to, the trustee. But the trustee pays the bills out of the trust. But because he doesn't have access to that money, he qualifies for Medicaid home care. And we're going with a consumer-directed personal assistance program where Joe hires the people, which I can be one of, and others. He interviews them, does the whole bit, and then an agency pays them. And the city or Medicaid pays for their care and gives the agency that's paying them the money. We could have done this 14 years ago. We didn't think we needed it then. And you know what? I really have a problem with somebody else coming in and but I can't think that way anymore. I'm getting up in age and I've got to think, what if something happens to me? So to protect Joe to live in his own house, this is the way we have to go. And we've got to do it now because next month, New York City changes the rules on what papers you have to show them. And they then look back 5 years at everything, every check you wrote, every
Super chat you sent.
yeah, everything. So we're rushing to get all this done and into the lawyer by March 2nd. And then he can put in the application and have it in by the middle of March. And then there is no look back. They just look at what you have today, March 1st. So it's a big, big undertaking and it could backfire. But the thing is, it's not an agency sending the people. Joe will choose the people that he wants to take care of them. So anyway, the pay is about $20 an hour, give or take a couple. Some of the agencies provide healthcare benefits and overtime. So anybody out there looking for a $20 an hour job in New York, all you got to do is take care of Bird. Let them know. Now, we've got a couple of people, but I wish Camille could come back. I really do. Maybe by the time this goes into effect, she'll be feeling better and decide she will come back, but I don't know.
Unlikely.
Unlikely, yeah. But she did recommend somebody. So we haven't spoken to the other woman yet, but we'll see. But that's what's going on here. So
JP is asking a live-in caregiver.
well, that they have to. His condition actually requires somebody to be here 24 hours a day because not considered, but he is non-ambulatory, which means he cannot save himself in case of an emergency. So they most likely will approve 24-hour care, but the fact that I live here, they could consider me, well, I'm already living here, so it might only be, I don't know, 8 hours a day. But I'd still need another person as backup. Their 24-hour care they pay, some agencies pay for 16 hours a day, others only pay for 13 because the caregiver needs X amount of time to sleep and blah, 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 blah. So we didn't get to that step yet. They don't pay for 24 hours, but yeah. So I am actually thinking that after we get some help, that we do have the basement apartment. So it's not a far stretch for a live-in if he needed it. That's it, guys. That's what's going on here. And now I'm going to rest like I was going to do before. Sorry about that. I took over again.
No, it's okay, Mama Frey. JP says he'll come do it. Let me live in your basement. I'll come do it and let me live in your basement. JP. I don't know, JP, if you're really up for that.
If he really is, let him send you an email. And
Yeah.
talk about it offline.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Where are we? Richie said you could give my number to Ciso Bray.
Yeah.
Freebase Friday. JP says it's Barfignugan Fridays, the day when we all buy Volkswagens. Mikey Suze says Happy Caregivers Day, Brother Bird. Thank you, Mikey Suze. Live-in caregiver. Mikey Suze says Kapla and also hail the Karogan Alliance. Yvette says Bird, that's great news for you and Mama Frey. Yeah, it hasn't been approved yet. This is just, we're working on it. Captain Phantom Nerd says hi to Mikey Suze. Mikey Suze says, yay, yes, JPs. My brother, Jay Aldridge, also needs a live-in caregiver for himself. Mikey Sue says hello to Captain Phantom Nerd. And Mikey Sue says those live-in caregivers are also very expensive. $signs. Mikey Sue says hello to Miss Yvette. And Mike Richard says, I always bank at Karoga Trust. Sci-Fi Nation says greetings, Berto Frey 5, Mamo Frey, Sassio Frey, and fellow nerds. All hail glorious Karoga. And of course, the God Emperor Berto Frey 5 would have been here sooner, but was giving care to the missus. No worries, Sci-Fi Nation. I told people about your stream I was at earlier today, and it was your birthday. And Sci-Fi Nation will be streaming this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern after this stream. So be on the lookout, and you guys should head over there and wish him a happy birthday if you haven't already. You can also wish him a happy birthday right here, but you should also wish him a happy birthday on his stream this evening. Gorilla's Random Thoughts as well. My workload just got a lot lighter. Want to know the best fast way to catch up on parts when you are behind? Have the previous station F up a bunch of what you have to reject. Fuck up a bunch that you have to reject them. Oh, I don't know if that's good or bad, but congrats. Yvette says, Bird, having some help is such a great comfort. Since I had my heart attack, I haven't been able to give Mom full care. So having someone come in and do the morning routine has been wonderful. Well, that's great that you've got somebody you can trust that makes your morning routine easier. Mikey Sue says, hello, brother gorilla. Mom will pray we love you.
Thanks.
He says, good for your mental health, too, to Miss Yvette. Peace of mind. Richie Poole says, Crow Nurse. Mikey Sue says, hello to Richie. And JP says, yeah, I'll do it. Just let me live in your basement. It's also quite cold in the basement. Richie Poole says, hello. Sci-Fi Nation says, greetings to Richie Poole. Good to see you again. Richie Poole says, Bird's backup caregiver will live in the small closet under the stairs. Now, that's actually not the worst place. If we could get an actual backup, that would probably have to be an orphan. Because, I mean, the closet under the stairs is tiny. Mamo phrases is pretty big. Right. I mean, I think Nephew O'Prey would probably be okay to use it as like a fort for the next year or two. Then he'll be too big. And if he sees that door, it would just, he'll find his way in there, and Mom O'Prey and Sis O'Prey won't be able to go in there and chase after him. You get in there, end up behind the refrigerator, just be a total mess. Mikey Sue says, then get 2 more givers for your mom and Bird so that 8-hour shifts per person won't be a burden. One of my relatives did that for them in their I guess you mean hospice care, or is there hostile care? That's not a thing. Richie Poole says, Sci-Fi Nation, great stream this morning. Thanks. Antiderivative Jill is here. Kapla. Antiderivative Jill. Sci-Fi Nation says thank you to Richie. Captain Phantom Nerd says hello to Sci-Fi Nation. JP says way too much paperwork. I would have to move to the US and my health bills wouldn't work for that. Oh, that's right. You're not even, yeah. Sorry. Should have stated Americans only. Sci-Fi says thank you, Bird. Mikey Sue says hello to Antiderivative Jill. For part of your UFO stream with PvP. Jerry Anderson was a genius. John Aragi says, in Mamo Pray, we trust. Arabic Sando says, Kapla Bird, I finally got a Friday off, so I made it before 4. Thank you, Arabic Sander. Kapla. Captain Phantom Nerd says hello to Antiderivative Jill. Hospice, yes, Mikey Sue corrected hospice. John Araki says, whoever ends up living in Bird's basement has to promise not to do any digging in the northeast corner. Sci-Fi Nation says also thank you to John Araki for the 1-month membership today. Definitely a great birthday present. Birthday president? No, birthday present. Mikey Sue says hello to Brother Arabic. Antiderivative Jill says hey to Captain Phantom Nerd and happy birthday to Sci-Fi Nation. Absolutely. Okay. So, it is February the 16th, And we have 13 holidays listed for this. February 16th, National Almond Day. It's pretty boring. Do a grouch a favor day. That's pretty stupid. Day of the restoration of the state of Lithuania. Rejoice in the spirit of patriotism as we celebrate the first Independence Day of Lithuania. Yeah, I don't. Elizabeth Petrovich Day. Okay. Skip. There we go. Friday, Fish Friday. Grab your fork and take a bite of your fried fish this Friday, Fish Friday. You get it? Friday, Fish Friday. It's Friday. Innovation Day. If you want to pursue a career in technology, then this day is for you. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this one. Today we celebrate the man who wasn't afraid to stand for truth on behalf of Ugandans. Okay, I'll try to pronounce it. Janan Luwum Day. Janan Luwum Day. The Kyoto Protocol Day. Find out what different countries are doing to make the world a more habitable place. Karoga, I encourage Karogans to keep the water running when they brush their teeth. And say, all these people say, you should turn off the water when you brush your teeth. False. False. You should keep the water running as you brush your teeth. It makes the dirty water cleaner. Okay? You're running that clean water while you're brushing your teeth. That's making the dirty, scummy water that would be just getting dirtier and scummier. You're breaking it up. You're making it less. You're letting some fresh water out with the dirt water. You are helping the system. Okay, the system isn't meant to have just the worst of the worst go through. It needs some extra water, some clean water to make the whole process go better. So I strongly support things like that. Anyway, there it is, officially February 16th, National Caregivers Day. We honor individuals who selflessly provide physical and emotional support to those who need it the most. And that's me. But honestly, people like Mama Pray, they are so hard to find. They are worth more than their weight in gold. Before you go into that, Mama Pray, it is also National Tartar Sauce Day. So you had fish and tartar sauce today. As long as you have your tartar sauce next to it, you can never go wrong with seafood. At least according to National Tartar Sauce Day. And it's also No One Eats Alone Day. Sit with the loneliest kid and share your meal with him or her as you bond. What do you think that the loneliest kid wants to bond with you? maybe they're the loneliest kid because they decided they're better than everyone else. I mean, I'm not saying that because that's what I had told myself, because I damn well believed it. I wasn't alone because nobody wanted to be with me. I was alone because I didn't want to be with anyone else. You fucking ignorant suckers. It's my doing, not yours. That's why if you came by near me, I'd look at you with suspicion and move to the other edge of the table. I don't want to fucking, don't come near me. And finally, I don't know if this is something Canadian, whatever the hell. It's Tim Tam Day. Come up with new combinations and variations to enjoy Tim Tam biscuits this year. Maybe it's something from the UK, because I've never heard of Tim Tam biscuits. Oh, Tim Tams biscuits are a national treasure for Australians. Oi! It's no surprise that they've taken out one day from the national calendar to celebrate their love for this delicious confection and enjoy eating Tim Tam biscuits in different ways. It's the perfect day to learn how one can enjoy eating Tim Tams in new and creative ways. Oi, the history of the Tim Tam Day. Tim Tams are popular in Australia. Australia biscuit brand introduced by Arnott's in 1964. A Tim Tam is a cream-filled sandwich biscuit that was developed by Ian Norris, who worked at Arnott's. During his trip to Britain, he tasted the popular Penguin biscuits and planned to develop a similar sandwich biscuit for his company. The biscuits were launched in 1964 and were named after a Derby horse, Tim Tam. In 2003, Arnott's filed a lawsuit against Dick Smith Foods for creating a similar brand of biscuit in terms of designing packaging. Both companies resolved the case without going to court. Arnott's began manufacturing Tim Tam biscuits for the U.S. market in 2008. In 2017, a special mint and chocolate flavored Tim Tam was developed, keeping in mind the taste of American consumers. Never heard of it. I've never heard of it. The Tim Tam timeline. Oh my God. Why is it called the Tim Tam Slam? It was probably created by some imaginative Australians who were bored and wanted to do something enjoyable. It became popular on the national level when Arnott's made it part of their regular advertising. While there were many options to choose from, the company initially decided to call it Tim Tam Suck and called it Tim Tam instead of the Tim Tam Slam. Tim Tam reminds you of a Sinatra song? Yeah, Flim Flam. There be a Flim Flam, whatever. Yeah, there is a Sinatra song with similar wording. So yeah, Tim Tam. Grab your Flim Flam, better than your easy chair, and your Slim Flam fingers through my greasy hair. That's it. And hold me something. Could you do? Yeah, it's coming home tonight. Could you do hose? Last son of K. Kapla, last son of K. Deej. Kapla, oh, we got a few people. I gotta go way back. Deej Odyssey says, hello world. It's Deej Odyssey. Odyssey. I get it. Sci-Fi Nation says hey to Deej. Richie Poole says hey to Deej. Deej says hey to Mikey Captain Sci-Fi. Last son of Sage says Kapla bird. Hello, Mamo Pray. And hail to the chat. Kapla, last son of K. Yeah. Sci-Fi, Mikey Sues says, remember, fellow Christians, no meat allowed during the Lent season. That's debatable, Mikey. Words and Pictures says hello to Captain Fandom. And Mikey Sue says on Fridays. Okay. Well, even that's still somewhat debatable, but it's a lot more accepted than I mean back in the day, but well, that's why there's, even to this day, the McDonald's fish sandwich. Back in the day, you couldn't, Catholics, Italians, and others wouldn't buy meat on Friday. Wouldn't buy meat during Lent. Wouldn't eat it. Yeah. Not that they wouldn't. Well, they wouldn't buy it either, because they weren't going to eat it. They're gonna. Huh? Right. No. Yeah. It wasn't like you could buy it on Friday and eat it on Saturday. Mikey chooses McDonald's sells filet of fishes on Lenten Fridays to help those who reject meat. It's not that they're rejecting meat. They're just trying to, keep it on the right side. See, I feel terrible because there was a time I was experimenting with religion, and I didn't know if I wanted to be more religious or not, but one particular year where I decided during college that I was going to try to adhere to a more Catholic upbringing, and it was probably the only year in my life that I decided I was actually gave up meat and gave up something for Lent, and I had my ashes, and maybe the next weekend there was a guy I knew through college, and he had been wanting me to hang out at it. He wanted me to hang out with him, and he kept saying that his mother makes the best chicken cutlets, and I was a big fan of fried chicken cutlets. At the time, I would have easily have said my favorite food was fried chicken cutlets, that Mom O'Prey or my aunt or my grandmother, they all could make this delicious fried chicken cutlet and pasta and whatnot. So this guy, I think he was Italian too. So he was like, come over one Sunday. My mom will make us chicken cutlets. It'll be what you'll love it, blah, blah, blah. So finally, I had the time and we decided, yeah, we'll come over. And I realized ahead of time, I was like, oh shit. I was like, it's Sunday though. I can't eat chicken. No, I'm sorry. This wasn't Sunday. I guess it was a Wednesday. This was a Friday. Had to be a Friday. Yeah. I guess it was a Friday. And he's like, come over. Like, yeah, I'll do that. And I realized the day before, I was like, oh shit, it's Friday. I can't eat meat on Friday. And I felt like shit for even saying that because I knew a year before I'd have no problem eating meat. And I knew that probably next year I'd probably be eating meat again. That this was just, but whatever it was, I was trying to do my best. So I felt bad to tell the guy, I was like, oh man, I don't know if I should just not come or whatever. He's like, no, come. Mom will make something else. I don't. I had always assumed he was Catholic because he had an Italian sounding last name. And yeah, Mom O'Prey says, not all Italians are Catholic, as I'm well aware. That said, the number of Italians who aren't Catholic that I figured I could count on one hand up to that point. But yeah, I know. So anyway, his mother went ahead and made fried shrimp instead, which I felt was very, very nice of her. And I felt terrible for changing. And I never got to taste what were supposedly her delicious chicken cutlets. The fried shrimp was so. It was good, but I don't know. I was looking forward to the chicken. It is what it is. And then the fact that I didn't stick with it and I ended up pushing away from it only made it feel worse. Whatever.
Are you having a break,
Am I having a break?
No, a break in your going on to another subject.
I don't know why.
Can I?
Yeah, you can talk.
Well, we're in the middle of something.
Oh. And John DeMarco says that Mikey Sue's FYI, no meat on Fridays during Lent is only practiced by certain groups. Yes.
Hi, guys, I'm back again, and I need to bring the conversation back. I do appreciate everyone saying how great I am for being a caregiver, but I have to say, I'm a caregiver because Joe is my son. I really appreciate the caregivers out there that do these things because it's not someone in their family. Their hearts are just so big that they're able to care for a stranger. And I don't think I fit that category because I don't know. I've never been in that position, nor did I ever in my career life look for any kind of healthcare job. Unfortunately, Bird, Joe, is in this position, and I just had not that I had no choice. I didn't want a choice. I wanted him to get better, but in the meantime, I wasn't going to leave his side. So my caregiving, those people out there that do it for a living, and some of them just volunteer. They see someone else in need and they help. Those are the people who today really get the hurrahs and the good wishes and all that stuff. I'm a mother. I think this is what mothers do. Okay, now I'm done and going to rest. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Mama Pray. And I can tell her that even from what I can see, not all moms are willing to put in what she has. So she has gone above and beyond. Yeah. Thank you, Mama Pray.
Thank you, Leslie. Now, good.
D. Odyssey says Tim Tam sucks. Hashtag Tim Tam sucks. Never would have heard of him. Mikey Sue says, I follow it, John DeMarco. At least I hope I do it faithfully, being raised Roman Catholic. I tried. I was sort of raised. I mean, I obviously wasn't raised Roman Catholic. Mom will pray and dad will pray. Yeah, I was baptized, but I never went to religious instruction during school. I never got confirmed. The first time I felt a little weird was when in high school I went on a trip to Italy. Mom will pray and dad will pray paid for me to go to a trip. That's what I wanted. Like Sis O'Prey wanted a big Sweet 16 birthday party. I wanted go to Switzerland and Italy. So that was what I did. And there were people talking, and asking me, like, oh, you're from Canarsie, Brooklyn. You're in the church is St. Jude, yes. St. Jude. And he just assumed like I knew, like I was like, oh, that's so and so, and I'm like, no, I was like, I don't know how to explain it to him, but he just like assumed that I was a maybe it was because of the fact that I bought a necklace with the church with the cross, a crucifix on the necklace, and I was just buying one. Huh? Oh, Sassy needed water. That she moved her water. She moved her water dish. Okay, Sassy, you got water. Sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, I think it was because I bought a crucifix. He assumed I was religious. It was really just, I was buying it as a gift for Sissopray. Anyway, I kind of felt weird that day, like I lied to him or something. Because I didn't want to tell him I had no idea who he was, who the guy was. I just said, yeah, I think so. He just, I eat alone, yeah, with nobody else. Oh, it's a song. And Deej says hashtag Croners. Sci-Fi Nation says don't throw your baby out with the bathwater. Donate them to Karoga. They will get everything they need while learning valuable job skills. Absolutely, Sci-Fi Nation. That's a great way of putting it. Deej says hey to Arabic. Last on the case says, I miss fish and chips every Lenten Friday. We had a mom and pop shop we'd get it from that deep fried the fish and wrapped it and the fries in newspaper. No styrofoam that made things soggy. Deej Odyssey says, what up to John? Mikey Sue says, Tim Tams were so delicious. My fiance at the time sent a box to Arizona. They were great. Mikey, hello to Mikey Suze, says last son of Kay. Deej says, sit with the loneliest kid and steal his pudding pack. Arabic says, sounds so good, last son of Kay. Are you in England? So jealous. Last on the case is the kid sitting alone thought the other kids were assholes. Well, I did. And they were assholes. Captain Infinity, Kapla, Section 31. Captain Infinity, Section 31. Sci-Fi Nations has bird avoided people before it was popular. That's true. Obviously, the problem was with them. I was a delight. If they didn't like me, fuck them. Mikey Sue says Tim Tams are special biscuit cookies from Canada and Australia, New Zealand. 47 Yorktown says hashtag say no to Aussie O'Prey. Sci-Fi Nation says Aussie O'Prey probably has a few stories about Tim Tams. Yep, the Tim Tams, those. The dingoes ate my Tim Tams. The dingoes ate my Tim Tams. Deej says Ozzy O'Prey sounds like he's got a hair lip. Mikey Sue says hello to 47. Yorktown, last son of K says live long and prosper to Arabic Sonder. But no, New England, northeastern USA, not British fish and chips, but still great nonetheless. 47 says howdy to Mikey Suze. Sci-Fi Nation says, remember when Ozzy Prey almost caused an international incident? Petridge Farm remembers. Arabic Saunders says, yummy last Sunday K. I'm in Denver, and there is a shop called Fish and Chips. The owners are British. So good. Captain Phantom Nerd says hello to last Sunday K. Says hail back. Deej is the only kind of meat you can eat on Fridays during Lent is none. Mwah, 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 mwah. Captain Phantom Nerd says hey to Arabic Sonder. Last Son of K says to Deej, Odyssey, how the hell are you? And Deej says tired. Mikey says, I recall one Friday where 2 local Mickey D's near me in Arizona ran out of fish sandwiches. Lol, it was hilarious. Arabic Founder says, hey to Captain Phantom Nerd, how have you been? Last Sunday Day says, ever since I worked for McDonald's, I cannot eat a filet o fish to this day. There's no reason. Don't worry. Last Sunday case is sorry, Deej. Deej says, Bird went to college and experimented. I did. That's what you do in college. You experiment. Some people experiment with drugs. I experimented with religion. Mikey Sue says, sorry, last Sunday that happened. Words and Pictures says, hey, Deej says the guy has been wanting you. A guy had been wanting you, all right, even. Mikey Sue says, hello, worlds. Last on the case is why? Sorry, Mikey Sue. He's not sorry. Sci-Fi Nation says filet-o-fish tastes worse than frozen fish sticks. Mike Richards says, Mama Frey says sometimes they make it good. Mama Frey does eat the McDonald's filet-o-fish on occasion. She had one today. Mike Richards says, in Soviet Union, chicken kachu. Mikey Sue says, they must have changed their formula. In the day, he remembers those fillets being fresh and good eating as a substitute. Deej Odyssey says, so the guy invited Bird home to meet his mom. No. It was college. All our friends would come home and meet her mom. Mikey Sue says hello to Professor Jeff. Professor Jeff is here. Kapla, Professor Brainy Specs. Last Sunday K says Mikey Sue's, I was fine with them before working there. Though never my favorite menu item. Another fish I've never had again, Alaskan pollock. Mikey Sue's Alaskan wild salmon is more popular than pollock. Captain Phantom Nerd says hello to Professor Brainy Specs. Jedi Bill is in the house. Kapla, Jedi Bill. Last in the case is when I lived in a shelter, we had pollock every Friday. I grew to hate the taste of it. The fish fillets were always freezer burnt. John DeMarco, you can count me as one of the Italians who isn't Catholic. Really, John? I guess that makes, I mean, obviously, I knew you weren't Catholic. I didn't put it together till now. Jedi Bill says, love you, Mama Frey. Sci-Fi Nation says, shelters usually have close to outdated food from donations. Last in the case is, yeah, Mike said wild salmon is delicious. Professor Brainy Specs is hailed in Arabic. Sonder. Mikey Sue says hello to Jedi Bill. Missing some Arizona sun back there. It's quite cold here today. Professor Brainy Specs is greeting to Captain Fandom Nerd. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says I don't have any fish left in my house, so I had to eat chicken today. Deed says just cut your chicken into a fish shape. Mikey Sue says we don't hate you or judge you, brother Gorilla. That's all that's left. If that's all that's left, eat the chicken. Professor Brainy Specs is lolling at Deej. Captain, last on the case says, yes, Sci-Fi Nation, even when I was in temporary housing, upstairs from the shelter, we get some of the donation boxes. At least a third was so out of date, it would just get trashed. Jedi Bill says, Kapla, Brother Warrior, Birdo Prey 5, and all should hail Karoga. But there's a thing, I'll be honest, a lot of our food is pretty close to or past the Best Buy date. And I don't like getting rid of it. I mean, I have to make sure, I was like, is it Best Buy or is it used by? If it's only Best Buy, then it's definitely still good. Sisso Prey comes in and she just throws things away. She's like, nope, it's a day, one day pass, goes in the trash. Like, well, it's like that barely, like, come on, like, seriously, Doritos? Like, what the hell is going to happen to a Dorito in the trash? Deej is bird feared vampires. Feared vampires? I don't know. Last on the cases in Sci-Fi Nation, I can't even blame the food banks that the donations came from. They get so much, it's difficult to track everything. But the people at the shelter should sort out the old stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to, when people are sorting things as a volunteer, it's hard to tell them, do a better job. Mikey Sue's, they avoid that procedure here in Canada a majority of the time. It's appalling. Cody Guy, Kapla Cody Guy, will live long and prosper. Mikey Sue says it's why we had to quit food banks. Jedi Bill says Kapla. Arabic Sonder. Cody Guy says hey to Mikey Sue's. Last on the case of Mikey Sue's, the worst thing is when you find out grocery outlets and warehouse stores intentionally out of date food to avoid trashing it. Not a week-ish, but months. It's truly disgusting. Wait, what? It is when you find out grocery outlets and warehouse stores intentionally sell out of date food to avoid trashing it? Not weeks, but months? Truly disgusting. Oh, so you always have to be double check the dates when you purchase. Very disgusting indeed, says Mikey Sue's. John DeMarco says someone, oh my God, Someone has to eat out of date spam. Like John, I first time I read that sentence, I thought it said something else. I was like, there is no way John DeMarco would ever write what I just thought I wrote, what I just thought he did. Someone has to eat out of date spam. Deej Odyssey says, hey, I'm like Sisso Prey. If it's past the date, it must go. Yeah, you guys would get along. Mikey Sue says, from working in grocery, I am able to determine the best buy date and know when some food items will officially expire. It's a gift. Deej Odyssey with the Sisso Prey emojis. Admiral Teague is in the house. Hello. Hello, Admiral Teague. Kapla. Last on the case says people and groups who intentionally donate food that far out of date are just assholes. No thanks for your shitty help. Go yourselves. Oh, who donate. Oh, they purposely donate far out of date shit. Okay. Yeah, no, that's bullshit. That should obviously, you should return it. Return it and just like drop it off in front of their store like a few hours before they open and just put a sign, say no thanks, returned, out of date. Next time donate food that isn't out of date, and just leave it in front of their store. No worries. Arabic Sanders is Kaplata, Jedi Bill. Last on K, waves to Teague. Teague says, Bird donates soy. Bullshit. I don't buy soy anymore. Teague Odyssey says, hey, Bird, tell Sisso Prey that we have that throwing out of date food in common. I'll try to remember, Deej. Captain Phantom Nerd says, hey to Teague. Gorilla says, I have used canned food 3 years past, and it was still good. And Mikey Sue says, one word, gorilla equals preservatives. What were you going to say, Mama Pray? Years ago, they didn't have expiration date on cans. Only dairy product had expiration date. Your mom would have canned vegetables for God knows how long. So what do you think? But now I see the expiration date they on. Yeah. Now there's an expiration date and they're gone. Now I don't know if it's because the cans got shittier, like they added some type of I don't know, some type of preservative or chemical to the wall of the can to make it more slippery, and now after time it ruins the can. I don't know, or if it's just they put a date on it so that they can sell more cans. This way, you buy a can of cream corn and you don't use it for a year. Now you've got to buy a second can of cream corn. You can't just leave it in the back of your pantry for 2 or 3 years. I'll be honest. I have bought far more canned foods than I've ever used. That w- when Mama Bray and Sister Prey took over this house, God knows how much stuff I had in the pantries, in various closets. I was well stocked, but I rarely used the food. It was there in case I needed to cook, but I didn't cook all that often. So, Mikey Sue says some volunteer workers were ignorant of expiration dates. Last, but not all, so generally, I agree with your statements. Well, that's the thing, though. Is it really that bad? You got cream corn that was, 2 or 3 years out of date. Is it? I mean, it's not that it's going to make you sick, right? If it doesn't make you sick, it's still food. I guess that's the thing, though. Will it make you sick? I assume not.
I'm not taking.
Mom probably won't take the chance, of course, because why would anybody do that?
During that, I don't know if I can use the C word,
The C word.
that pandemic.
COVID, you can use COVID. Yeah, you can say COVID. Yeah, right. We bought a lot of canned food during COVID. You really know about the food supply. 90% of it got thrown out. Expired, trashed. Because of the salt. Right, yeah, I couldn't eat it.
We don't have much candy.
Um, Will Wheaton is done acting unless he's Wesley. What? Giant freaking robot. Will Wheaton is done acting unless he's Wesley. What other acting prospects did the man even have? He doesn't have any. Big Bang Theory is off the air. Unless there's a Big Bang Theory reunion, there's nobody coming for him. Nobody cares, Mr. Wheaton. That's an ultimatum you don't get to make. That's an ultimatum that the universe gave you. You don't get to give it to the universe. When Star Trek The Next Generation first premiered, Will Wheaton was one of the most controversial actors simply because many fans found his Wesley Crusher character to be overly annoying and precocious. Over time, however, fans learned to love Will Wheaton as he came to embrace the franchise, making cameos in new track shows like Picard and Lower Decks, while also serving as host to the Ready Room. In fact, the actor's love for his franchise is so great, he confirmed at the 51st Annual Saturn Awards that even though he's done acting, he will always show up for roles in Star Trek. Remember what I said earlier about how nobody wanted to eat lunch with me. It was their fault, not mine. Well, Will, I tell you, nobody wants you in their movies or their shows. It's your fault, not theirs. Wheaton and Wesley became inseparable. For those who have followed Will Wheaton's career over the years, the fact he is done with acting outside of Star Trek shouldn't be surprising. After The Next Generation helped make him famous, he briefly left acting altogether to work on the Video Toaster 4000. No, really. After that, he spent half a decade studying acting before throwing himself back into the wonderful world of Hollywood. Once he returned to acting, Will Wheaton had a very diverse career, appearing in everything from an indie darling films like The Good Things to fan favorite sci-fi shows like Eureka. He memorably starred as himself in the popular Big Bang Theory, and at one point even hosted his own briefly lived sci-fi show called Will Wheaton Project. However, even before that show was unceremoniously canceled, it was clear that the actor was embracing plenty of the other opportunities outside traditional television and film roles. It was the only thing he could get: voice acting. For example, Will Wheaton became a prolific voice actor, loaning his vocal talents. That's, I don't know if I'd agree with that, to shows like Teen Titans and podcasts like Welcome to Night Vale. Speaking of Wheaton's voice, he is also a veteran narrator of audiobooks, including Ready Player One and its sequel. He has been a voice actor in games such as I Expect You to Die Too, The Spy and the Liar, and even created the web series Titan's Grave, The Ashes of Valicana, and memorably starred as Felicia Day's antagonist in the web series The Guild. What does all this mean in the context of Will Wheaton's declaration that he's done with acting outside of Star Trek? The truth is, the actor found steady work and achieved major success in a wide variety of other endeavors outside the kinds of film and TV roles that originally made him famous. Like many passions, as time went on, he decided to fully embrace these opportunities rather than stick to more traditional acting path. However, as Will Wheaton is quick to point out, he has never lost his love for Star Trek, and he is always willing to work with the franchise in most any capacity. Since its second season, he has served as host of the Star Trek after show, The Ready Room, and has his energy and enthusiasm always managed to keep both guests and audiences entertained. Similarly, fans were excited to see him return of Wesley Crusher in Picard. No, nobody was excited. And while that second season was very muddied, it was garbage. It was fulfilling getting closure for Wesley's arc as a traveler. That wasn't closure. Does this mean we're more likely does this mean we're likely to see more of Will Wheaton's Wesley in the future? He didn't indicate how likely that was, or it's not likely. But of his return to acting, he said, I have learned we should never say absolutely not when it comes to a franchise that both killed and resurrected the godlike being Q in the space of a single season. We think Wheaton's right. We should never say never to the idea of seeing Wesley Crusher again. With any luck, the next time we see him, the character will get a proper reunion with Space Mom Beverly Crusher. If nothing else, we'd love to see Wesley's interaction with his half-sibling Jack Crusher. Those two have plenty to talk about. They have nothing to talk about. And Jack would be the last person in the universe to blurt out the iconic phrase Will Wheaton grew up so sick of hearing. Shut up, Wesley. Guess who's not tired of saying shut up, Wesley? Gates McFadden. Space Mom Space Mom Beverly Crusher. She loves to say shut up, Wesley. I mean, no one can look at the man without saying shut up, Wesley. Poor Wes. I almost feel bad for the guy. Last on a K says most canned food is usually fine long term, even if the date is past. But many shelf stable dry goods, non-canned, do usually start going bad months after date. Really do need to be careful. Absolutely. Sci-Fi Nation says from the movie Down Periscope, Buckman, tastes like cream corn. XO, supposed to be deviled ham. Last on the case is Mikey Sue's, the point person at the shelter I was in also prepped the lunch and dinner for the people staying at the shelter. He knows better, but a lot of food comes through, but could do better. Last on the K is waving at Jedi Bill. LDG, hello LDG, hashtag free the net. Let him be the next Blue Clues guy. Scare kids right off the TV forever. Arabic Sanders says, yes, we are finally getting a Star Trek Traveler series. Lol, just kidding. Mikey Sue says, yes, LDG, yes. Deej says he could become a spokesman for Project Prometheus. LDG says you could be the spokesman for my foot, Deej. Deej is lolling. Mikey Sue says Will Wheaton almost killed the film Stand By Me. All of the other young cast were more popular than him. Facts. Jedi Bill says, hey, Bird of Prey, Will Wheaton wasn't Stand By Me. Probably his best role. Yeah, I've heard. LDG says, yeah, Jedi, he was a better actor when he didn't know how yet. Neither did we, for that matter. Last Son of K says, should redub the line in every TNG episode spoken to. Shut up, asshole. Mikey Sue says, we can now also say to Will Wheaton, shut up. Wow. Wow. Who brought up Will Smith? Says Last Son of Kenny. I don't know. I don't know if it's still going to autocomplete, but Google used to autocomplete is Will Wheaton. Okay. They used to autocomplete is Will Wheaton gay? See, this is it. Mandela effect. I distinctly remember Will Wheaton coming out of the closet. He was still pretty young, but post Star Trek, but apparently he's straight. This is in no way a hateful comment about Will Wheaton being gay or straight. He's awesome either way. I remember watching Entertainment Tonight show where they did a special segment about Wheaton coming out, and he talked about having difficulties acting on Star Trek during the time he was coming out to question or coming with terms of his sexuality. I saw this show like 10 years ago, but a year ago, I saw a picture of him with his wife and was very surprised he was married to a female. So did some internet searches and found nothing about him being homosexual or this show I remember watching. Did I experience an incredibly specific dream once upon a time, and I believe it was real for many years? Or does anyone else happen to remember the same thing? They're saying, are you thinking of Chad Allen? He was on TNG. Absolutely nothing wrong with being gay, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you're thinking of George Takei. No. You're absolutely not alone in this one. I remember watching this at my grandma's house around 1999, 2000. I remember the highlights at the intro of the show. The theme played. I didn't watch the show, but I saw the first part for sure, or at least the advertisement of the interview. You know, back in my mind, I still think of him as gay because that is how clearly those images are for me. He says, yes, this is what I remember watching it. They're saying you could be thinking of Danny Petoro, the kid from Who's the Boss. His name is spelled Will. Yeah. I remember it too. It was 1990s or early 2000, but they definitely remember it. So I'm telling you, it was in Google that it didn't say he was gay, but it was one of the most often asked questions. Is Will Wheaton gay? Proud to say Will Smith sucks, says Mikey Sues. Chris Rock should have kicked Will Smith in his ball sack after getting hit on stage like he did. Gorilla says, you're not the only one, Bird. My gaydar went off with the way he acts. Yeah. Now I think he, well, whatever. Could be. could be biased, vamos pues. I don't know. None of my business. Let's go ahead and do some Dear Bops. We got 2 Dear Bops at least today. I did Birdle. I lost. I lost at Birdle today. I had gotten 4 of the letters, but the 5th one, too many options, too many choices. Okay. Dear Bob, if you were offered a Neuralink implant to walk, would you do it? You would have an AI in your brain, and the voice would be Captain Finity. The last part is a joke, but really want to know if you would get the surgery done. So the real answer is I don't know. Best I can tell, I don't think the technology is there yet. But if the day came when the technology is there that I could walk again, and I mean actually walk, then hell yeah, I would get the implant. Okay, because what it's not is an AI that you can talk to. That's not what it is. That technology doesn't exist yet, and frankly, I don't think it's going to exist in my lifetime. What does exist is an interface that makes it easier for, a computing device to get inputs, to receive inputs from my brain. Now, ideally, they could just put a sensor on my nerves and I would be able to send the same type of signal over the nerve to do what I want to do. But I can understand putting everything in one place physically is an easier way of collecting the data. So yeah, I would do it. It's basically like relearning to walk or relearning to use a mouse or anything like that. But it's just some way of, basically you're gonna learn to control a joystick with biofeedback. And that joystick is going to, allow me to walk, and yeah, I'll do it. What I won't do is get that done if it's still like, well, you're going to need to have canes, not canes. What is it? Not a cane. When you have 2 walker, crutches. Yeah, you're gonna have crutches be velcroed to me, and you got to have to have 15 different pieces added, and it takes you 2 hours to get set up to walk 5 feet, and you can't go up steps, and you can't do anything, and you got to take it all off. No, No, fuck. I'm sorry. I don't mean to sound ungracious, but no, that's not walking. Maybe that's got to be done before the real the next gen stuff gets completed, but I need to do more than that. I'm not going to risk implant in my brain for that. And also, there needs to be some way, God help, there's got to be some proven way that I can turn this thing off if I had to. If that's using a magnet or some type of wireless transmission, there has to be some way I can hard turn off the device. Dear Bob, if they were going to do a biopic of your life, who would you want to play you and your friends? I was thinking Vin Diesel play you, The Rock and be LDG, Morgan Freeman for Mr. Lundell, and Billy Bob Thornton as Deej. Surprisingly, I never really worried or wondered who would play me, let alone my friends. I guess I always figured I would play them. I would hold off like like um, like Rocky, like Sylvester Stallone. I would make them. I would have to star and act in my own biopic. Oh, I know Rocky is not a biopic of Stallone, but you get the picture. I guess if we had to get somebody to play me, um, I don't know, Chris, Chris, Chris Pine. No, not Chris Pine. Uh, the guy from Jurassic World, whoever he is, he could do it, I guess. I really don't care. Just you know what? Just give me the money. I don't care who they get to play me. Just give me that money. Kapla Hakim. Um, Hakeem would be afraid of being hacked. I don't think it would really work like that. Deej can see Billy Bob as him. Dr. Scotty says, Deej, I would have had James Wood play you. Deej says, nah, Billy Bob and me can both be bad Santa. Applaud Dr. Scotty. Dr. Scotty says, Deej, yeah, you're right, I can see it. Deej says, but LDG would be more of a Jack Black. Dr. Scotty says, hello, Mikey Subes. Mikey Subes, you mean Chris Pratt? Yes, Chris Pratt. That's who I meant. Not Chris Pine, not Kirk, not JJ Kirk. Sci-Fi Nation says just put Jason Alexander on stilts. He could do Bird. Wow. Positive Candace's Bird. Why Chris Pratt? Might as well be Tim Christ. Well, you can make Chris Pratt Tim Christ. Positive. Who would play you? Positive. Dear Bob, Will Wheaton here. Okay, well, first, you misspelled your own name, Mr. Wheaton. I listen to your show every time you stream, so I wanted to say hello. I know you were talking about my sexuality, and that's fine. Everybody does it. I guess there are still questions. Even I myself am confused sometimes. I will confide with you that I did have a sexual relationship with LeVar Burton while on Star Trek Next Gen. We were very close, but I did tell LeVar that we could not stay together and come out as a couple, as that would have destroyed both our careers. Anyway, take care, and I will always be listening. Will. Again, misspelled. Okay. Thank you, Will, with 2 L's. Mikey Sue says, Suzanne, my wife, said that current Vin Diesel could play him. Well, there you go. There you go. Okay, guys. Well, it's coming up on 6 p.m. Remember, in an hour from now, Sci-Fi Nation will be having a birthday stream. So please think of going over there to check it out. In the meantime, head on over to ldgfreethenet.org/underground. Want to say hello over there. Deed says, isn't Vin Diesel gay? Mikey says no. Positive Candace says, Jan Michael Vincent would play me. You know, the main actor in Airwolf, or Ernest Borgnine could play a Borg named Nine. Dr. Scotty says, adios all. See you later. Farewell from Columbus, Ohio. See ya, guys, says Hakeem. Take care to Mike Richards. And applaud all.